Whether you believe it or not, we share our world with the fairies. And in this video, I'm going to give you 10 signs that you can look for to find out if there's any fairies in your vicinity. And as you listen, you'll be able to see 10 photographs of fairies, real fairies that I've taken myself in my own backyard, basically, my own areas, and many other places. So are you ready for this? Let's see what those 10 signs are. In stories told across Europe, circles of mushrooms mark the places where fairies have danced. People once believed these were gateways to another realm, portals that opened where joy touches the earth. When you come across one, notice the stillness inside the ring. The air often feels thicker, the light a little dimmer. You may sense a hush, not absence, but presence. Whether or not it's truly a doorway, the feeling is unmistakable, a pulse of otherworldly rhythm that lingers in the soil. Step gently, whisper a greeting. You're walking where the Fae once celebrated. Another common sign is playful mischief, small objects that vanish only to reappear somewhere unexpected. A ring resting in a teacup, a key found in the garden. In folklore, the Fae are drawn to anything that shines or holds sentimental energy. They may borrow it briefly, curious about the human who treasures it. If this happens, don't scold or be afraid. Speak softly, thank them for returning what was borrowed, and perhaps leave a token of goodwill. These moments remind us that not all magic is grand. Sometimes it's simply the rearranging of what we think we own. Some people notice small rearrangements after spending time outdoors. Petals shifted, stones balanced, leaves tucked together as if by unseen hands. The fairies, it's said, appreciate harmony. They correct what feels out of balance, the way an artist might straighten a frame or a gardener might prune a stem. When I've found such tiny adjustments, I've felt a warmth, as though something kindly watched and wanted to help. If you notice small improvements that make no practical sense, smile. The Fae may simply be leaving beauty where chaos once lingered. In places where the Fae dwell, nature often thrives with a peculiar radiance. Flowers bloom brighter, mosses feel almost electric to the touch. Old tales call this the fairies' blessing, where the land mirrors their energy. When you find a plant that seems impossibly alive, pause. That is where two worlds overlap. I've seen ordinary spaces suddenly teem with light after photographing fairies, as if the act of seeing them reawakens the earth itself. These moments remind us that the Fae and the natural world are inseparable. To honor one is to nurture the other. Fairy presence is often heard before it's seen. Faint laughter, tinkling bells, or a soft hum that fades the moment you notice it. Many legends describe fairy music as both beautiful and dangerous. Follow it too far, and you may lose track of time. In truth, the sound seems to arise from the space between things, between leaves, between thoughts. If you ever hear that subtle melody, pause and listen, but don't chase it. The Fae prefer to be acknowledged, not pursued. Sometimes, the Fae make themselves known through timing. You think of a friend and they call. You take an unfamiliar path and find exactly what you were seeking. These are not accidents, they are alignments, small winks from the unseen reminding us that life is more connected than we admit. The more open you are, the more these moments multiply. Keep a journal of them. Patterns emerge that feel like conversation. Fairies may not speak in words, but they speak in synchronicity. Before a fairy reveals itself, the air often shifts. A cool breeze passes when everything else is still, or the scent of wildflowers appears from nowhere. You might see sparkles or glints of light at the edge of vision, small ripples in the ordinary. These are energetic echoes, ways the Fae brush against our senses without fully stepping through. When this happens, breathe deeply. Don't question it immediately, just feel. The unseen world may be brushing back. Animals sense frequencies we overlook. Cats fixate on corners, dogs grow suddenly still. Birds seem to hover as if watching something invisible. Folklore says pets act as guardians between realms, warning us, or sometimes greeting the unseen. I've learned to trust their reactions. When my cat's eyes widen in wonder, I follow her gaze. Often there's a quiet shimmer waiting there. When Sammy stares, cocking his head, I speak softly to whomever he is seeing or listening to. The Fae love innocence and instinct. That's why animals are often their first friends. Many old traditions claim fairies avoid iron, a metal too rigid for their vibration. Iron tools and fences, it's said, keep them at a distance. But they're drawn to natural elements, copper, crystal, water, wood. These resonate with the softness of their world. If you wish to invite their presence, create spaces that feel alive. Fresh water, candlelight, gentle intention. Respect replaces protection. When there is harmony, wards aren't needed. Standing stones, ancient trees, and burial mounds are often described as crossings between worlds. Such places hum differently, as if the ground remembers. Fairies are said to keep watch over them, caretakers of memory and energy. When you visit these sites, move quietly. Listen. You may feel the landscape itself breathing. Not every sacred place is old. Sometimes a single oak or a wild spring carries that same vibration. The Fae appear wherever reverence still lives. So there you have it, the 10 signs. But remember, these signs are by no means proof. They're reminders that there's still magic in the world all around us. And if you notice small shifts, such as in the air, or time is kind of slowing down, or you have a feeling that you're not accustomed to, you're already halfway into the fairy realm. And if you find yourself in this position, glaze your eyes. In other words, look softly at your surroundings. Speak kindly. And you may just find that you found something that other people have completely forgotten. And that's that fairies are everywhere, including near you. Thanks so much for watching.